Yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Maybe I should sing to them. Or maybe Enrique, you can sing to them. I can't sing.
Me. Let me warm up.
Interference. Jazz hands. Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Yes, please grab your popcorns and your drinks. If you need to use the restroom, please do so now, as we will get started in the presentation in a few minutes to allow individuals having technical difficulties or coming in late to go ahead and sign on. If you're here for the Honors College, you're in the right place. If you're here for news and sports, you're in the wrong place. I hope my jokes are making you guys laugh, because I don't know if you're laughing, but I'm just going to pretend you are. Ha ha ha. See a lot of familiar names on here. Once again, for those of you guys that are just entering now, we're going to take a couple of minutes to wait for people to join. We know some of you are leaving other sessions or, maybe coming home from something. So we want to make sure you give a couple of minutes to go ahead and come in as well. All right, we'll give it a couple more seconds and then we'll get started. If you're here for the Honors College, you're in the right place. We're going to talk about a lot of things, how to apply, scholarships, benefits, things like that. So we'll go ahead and get into all those requirements needed to apply. We'll get into requirements on how to qualify for scholarships. We'll get into what do you need to be in the Honors College and all that good stuff. Very, very thorough presentation, All right, so it's 4:35, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Shelby Stone, Shelby like the Mustang, and Stone like Piedra if you speak Spanish. I am the Honors College Admissions Coordinator and Career Service Coordinator as well. And a little bit about myself, I did graduate from Johnny Ferguson Senior High School in May of 2014, and I did go ahead and go to Miami-Dade College, Kendall and Homestead campus. So I am a transfer myself to FIU. I went ahead and transferred to FIU in the Honors College, and I did get my bachelor's degree in psychology. We also have Enrique Rosell. If you can go ahead and introduce yourself. You're on mute, Enrique.
Hello, everybody. I'm Enrique. I'm the program coordinator here at the Honors College. So I look over our Honors College organizations, our volunteer opportunities, our student engagement opportunities. I also graduated in 2018, and I went to Terra Environmental Research Institute. Really excited to be here. Thank you guys for joining us on a Saturday.
Yes. And I do want to mention that we will be taking questions through the chat box on the bottom there. Enrique Rosell will be answering those questions. He's also going to present a little bit during the presentation. And then we also have the lovely David Dugard, the undergraduate admissions recruiter, who will also be assisting us in answering questions. He's lovely. He's a really good friend for Honors, as well as a personal friend of mine. So thank you, David, for being here. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. So the Honors College, that's why you're all here, right? So the Honors College is best of both worlds, because you're not only a student in your major, you're also a student in the Honors College. I'm sure many of you that are transfer students are coming from Miami-Dade College, Broward College, Palm Beach College maybe, or Hillsborough or anything like that. Just keep in mind what your institutions may have as an honors college may be different for how our honors college is ran, okay, or how it's done. So just keep that in mind, keep an open mind, but we will go over all the little aspects as far as applying, the requirements, how the courses work, and things like that. So with that said, this slideshow is broken into three different benchmarks. So we have academic excellence, the honors community, and benefits and opportunities. And I'd like to say you're experiencing the difference and enhancing your undergraduate education when you come to the Honors College. FIU is one of the largest state universities. I believe it's about 56,000 undergraduate students. And like I said, it's a big school, and the great thing about FIU is you're getting all the benefits of a large research state institution, as well as the benefits of honors and that small familial college, because there's only about 2,500 students. Okay, so you get the best of both worlds. So we're going to go ahead and get started with what the Honors College courses are and what the Honors College is. So the Honors College courses, you're going to develop courses on critical thinking and creative learning. We do have courses that content any major interests. And now I say interest because it's not just about your major. Life is more than your major, right? And college is more than that. We understand that you might be, interested in becoming a doctor, but you have an interest in like art or something like that. So we have courses for you. We also have smaller classes. So classes can be anywhere between like 10 to 25 students is about the average. But we have even as small as like 6 students, 5 students that bring each other breakfast in the morning for classes. It is only one class per semester. So it's not like your entire course is honors. You're not taking honors calculus or an honors abnormal psychology. It's only one class that is honors, and the rest of your course is your major courses, okay? And no, the Honors College courses do not cost anything extra, unless of course you're taking an online class, or it might be an online fee, but they do not cost extra, and they do count towards your core curriculum requirements, which I'll discuss in a later slide. Within the honors courses, you will be taking classes that focus on, critical issues, presentation skills, different literature pieces, as well as our favorite group projects, And the honors courses are taught as seminars, okay? We call them seminars because they engage in back and forth conversation. We want to make sure that you're prepared to express your ideas, to give your input, and to hear other people's opinions, because the Honors College has a makeup of many different majors, and that's how the real world is. People from different backgrounds, different cultures, different, experiences, and we want to make sure you voice those experiences and you learn from different perspectives. So that's why they're also called mind expanding curriculum. So The next slide is the upper division curriculum and how it works. So once you become an FIU and an honors student, in the fall term, you have the option to do necessarily these three options for upper division. You can do IDH 3034 and 3035, which are honors courses. They're typical honors courses, which I'll go into more detail on the next slide. And these courses count towards your core curriculum requirements of global learning, or it can go towards your upper division electives outside of your major. You also have the option to embark on exclusive study abroad opportunities with the Honors College. And then your third option could be ARCH, also known as basically research. And this is IDH 4905, that's what it's also known as. And this can satisfy upper division electives outside of your major, which is also what study abroad can do. I know the slide's kind of content heavy, and I will go over each of these upper division options in detail on another slide, but for now, Enrique, are there any questions that I should answer live right now? Nope, Enrique, maybe you don't know you're on mute.
Hello, everybody. I am so sorry. I need to stop doing that. Yes, right now we've got a couple questions, but you're going to answer them in the following slide. So
Okay,
we'll get to those.
All right, so I'll go ahead and continue on. So the next slide, this is the honors seminar. That's what I was talking previously on the slide, IDH 3034 and 3035. Remember, life is more than a major. We want you to go into your interests. So right here on the right-hand side, you see a snapshot from our website. And we have courses that cover a myriad of different topics and interests. So I just kind of want to show you what our website looks like. So when you go to our website, it's honors.fiu.edu. And then you're going to go to the current students tab, and it's going to drop down, and you're going to go to course selection. When you click on that tab, it's going to show up the options, and you're going to scroll a little bit down and go to IDH 3034 and 3035. Or I mean 3034, excuse me. So as you can see here, these are the different options. So like I said, you can be a biology major and you want to be a lawyer maybe. You can take pre-law classes. Let's say you are a political science major and you want to take classes in technology. You can do that. The option is yours. I think the saying is the world is your oyster. So you can definitely do that here in the Honors College. So you can also click on view all courses on the grid, and you can see a drop down of all the different courses. There is over 50 seminars, if I'm not mistaken, and some of them are even fully online. I understand that some students may be fully online, and also pending COVID, these courses that are face-to-face will also be turned into a online format if this were to continue with quarantining. But yeah, look at the different courses that we offer. We actually have a new course that seems pretty cool, and I wish they had it when I was an honors student. It's called Everyday Hustling. So if you click on learn more for the course, it's going to give you a course description. So it's talking about how this course is going to talk about South Florida's biggest hustlers and experience firsthand on what it takes to be the best in your craft through a combination of weekly field visits around South Florida and in-class discussions with assigned readings. We also have a class called Myth and Ritual in Film, which is kind of see here. I'll go back to this slide. We have a class called Myth and Ritual in Film, which is the class that I took when I was an honors student. You watch movies all semester long? Yay. So we watched Indiana Jones, we watched Batman, we watched Metropolis, it's an old school movie, and we watched E.T. Extraterrestrial, which in that class we learned how different movies pull from religion and religious texts in order to convey movie messages. So for example, in E.T. Extraterrestrial, when E.T. is drinking the beer and Elliot's the one that actually shows the signs of getting drunk, it's because they're connected by the Holy Spirit. The mother's name is Mary, like the Virgin Mary. And also when E.T. descends, it's from a white beacon of light representing all holiness. So if you take that class, I gave you like 80% of the answers to the test, so you're welcome. We also have a class for aspiring lawyers who want to thrive in the legal profession. We also have a class called Feast, World Foods. So for any of you foodies out there, there's a class. And like I said, on our website, you can see course description, who teaches it, and get more information about it. Sometimes there's even a video about the course as well. And then we even have a class called Miami in Miami, which is a great class that does virtual, that goes in Miami and visits sites in Miami, kind of like a study abroad. So you think you know Miami, but you don't basically. And if we do decide, or we do need to continue doing virtual remote things for the fall semester, we have moved over Miami towards the end of the semester has been doing virtual tours of different museums and sites in Miami. So our courses are prepared to, you know, make sure to still be engaging and things like that, despite the format altering, which is great. We even have Tao Sports and Challenges in Healthcare. And like I said, the list goes on and on. These classes are optional to take for a year long, so you can take Challenges in Healthcare for fall and spring. Miami's also fall and spring. But let's say, for example, you want to take Tao Sports and you want to take it in the fall, and then you decide, I don't want to take Tao Sports in the spring. I want to do diplomacy, or I want to do myth and ritual and field in the spring. You can go ahead and do that. Some courses in honors are mandatory 1 year, which is great because that gives you great recommendation letters for graduate school, and some of them are optional from 1 year. The website that I showed you did have in parentheses year long, so you can go ahead and see which courses are mandatory 1 year long, so you can go ahead and prepare for that. And then aside from that, after your first semester in the fall and spring, you can always take classes in summer A and summer B. Just as of right now, if you are to apply to Honors College or you did get admitted, we only have fall admission, but after that semester, you're more than welcome to take classes in summer A and summer B, and all of them are online in the summer. Okay, any questions so far, Enrique or David?
I think we're good for right now, and we still have the two that you're going to answer in the following slides. But we're good. We're good for right now.
Great. So another option that we have is study abroad. It's an amazing experience. Study abroad this current time is still pending with COVID pandemic, but I will explain it anyways in the hopes that we can travel in the next summer. So we do travel to London, UK, Japan, China, Italy, France, Costa Rica, Spain, and Cambodia, Vietnam. And what's great about these programs is, to me, it's like an educational vacation. So you take a class in the spring semester about the country, the history, the origins, and things like that. And then in the summer term, for about a month, you will be in that country exploring what you learn and exploring that land. So for example, I did Cambodia, Vietnam, and I learned about the Vietnamese War, the Khmer Rouge, and things like that. In the summer, for about a month, we actually went to Thailand, we landed in Bangkok, then we went to Vietnam, we were in both the north and the south, and then we went to Siem Reap, Cambodia, and Phnom Penh. And that was a month long with other honor students, and it was amazing, to say the least. We also did a cruise in Vietnam, was part of the itinerary for that. And you can find more information on what you're gonna do, or a little bit about what the trip is about, on our website under the Study Abroad tab. But to give a brief overview, London, UK, Japan, Italy, France, Spain is more of history, arts, and culture component to it. China has more of a business geared component to it. Costa Rica has more of a nature, earth, and environment component to it. And Cambodia, Vietnam has a teaching component to it. So in Cambodia, you will be teaching about 2 hours a day in Cambodia. And it's an amazing experience. Not to mention, it's only 2 hours, have the rest of the day to explore Siem Reap, Cambodia. You can go to Angkor Wat, one of the wonders of the world, and things like that. I will say that they do cost a certain fee. So for example, for Cambodia, Vietnam, it's 1,700 when I went. The price may have changed, but when I went, it was that cost, and includes your hotel, it includes your excursions. It does not include your airfare or any meals. But each of them are different. I believe Costa Rica includes meals, if I'm not mistaken, but all that's on the website. And what's great about Cambodia, Vietnam also is it's fairly cheap. So if that's a trip you decide to take on, I brought $1,000 with me. I only spent about $800 when I came back, and I had a luxurious trip. I went shopping like every day. I had massages done every day. It was amazing. And I learned a lot of different things. Actually, because of that trip, I decided to pursue my master's in public administration with a focus in finance. So, because I did a non-for-profit project in Cambodia. And that's another thing I want to mention is it's very important as transfer students, and I get it, it's almost impossible to sometimes be involved on campus or to get involved because you may be working full-time or going to school full-time, and it can be very overwhelming. But I can tell you, at least if you go through the honors program, they make it very easy for you to get involved. And they even have special events for transfers, such as Transfer Tuesdays and things like that. And, you know, if you can get a month off of work, if you are working, or if you're not working, I would definitely recommend going on this opportunity, like study abroad or research or anything like that, because of the fact that I graduate with a 4.0 GPA, and I'm not trying to brag by all means, but GPAs are great, but graduate school and employers are looking for students who are involved, who do things, who do jobs and internships and get on campus and run organizations and clubs. And, you know, FIU, as long with the Honors College, are here to provide you with those resources, even if it means doing them remotely. So another question or another upper division option that we have is ARCH. ARCH is also known as Advanced Research, Creativity, and Honors. And this is another great opportunity for you guys to advance into research skills and things like that. Another thing that graduate school is looking for. So ARCH is a program that I can show you on our website. It's under the ARCH tab. So there's several options. You can actually work on a current FIU faculty member's research project, and you can see them here under the Find a Mentor tab. And there's a bunch of different researches going on with faculty members that we have, anywhere from behavioral and ADHD to computers to politics and things like that. As our research coordinator, Alan Varela, would say, research is everywhere. So in business, psychology, obviously, software systems, the list goes on and on. And if there's a research topic that you can't find here and you want to do your own research, we can do that for you and help you get paired up with an FIU faculty member as well. And what's great too is for any of you that are engineers, you will have to do a senior research project in your major. And the great thing about it is if you're in honors, you can double dip or kill two birds with one stone. So you can use your same research project for engineering and get credit for ARCH and honors, which is awesome, I think. So this is where, like I said, you can go to our website and find it down here. Is there any questions so far?
Well, I'll ask you this one just so we can, because a couple people have already asked it. So if they are finishing up right now their spring semester and they have their unofficial transcript, can they still apply with their unofficial transcript?
So you apply with whatever transcript that you have now to FIU and to send it to FIU. And then you should be able to pop up with the application. I'll talk about it later in the slide in detail, but I'll definitely go over it, how it works for transfers, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so just to kind of overview it again, because I know it get a little confusing. In other words, for the honors upper division coursework, you can use it for a different combination because we understand not every combination is right for every student. So if you want to do 2 study abroads, you can, your junior and senior year. Or if you want to do a study abroad and a research, you can, your junior and your senior year. If you just want to do 2 regular honors classes, you can. You can do that as well. Study abroad is not mandatory. You don't have to do a study abroad. You don't have to do a research. You don't have to do any of those things as long as you're taking some part of honors coursework. And like I said, these courses for honors don't cost you anything extra. It counts towards your core curriculum requirements. So it's great. You know, it's not anything that you have to be looking at extra, like I said, for your degree. So with that said, I'm going to pass it over to Enrique.
Hello, everybody. So there's a lot of really exciting information to cover in these next couple slides. So first of all, we have Honors College at Parkview. So if you are planning on living on campus, we have Parkview, which in my opinion, I think it's the nicest and the newest residence hall that we have on campus, and it's available just for our honors students. Okay, so you can see a picture of it right here in the top left of the slide. Okay, so it's beautiful as you can tell. So some of the things that are around the Parkview that are really beneficial to you is first, right next to Parkview, we have the nature preserve. So if you like to spend some time in nature, just walk around, there's like a rubberized track around it, there's outdoor equipment, there's an edible food garden in there, and we have a lot of volunteer opportunities within the actual nature preserve as well. So that's a really cool thing to have right next to where you live. Also, it's the closest residence hall to the actual rec center. So if you've been putting off going to the gym, like I have, no more excuses, you're right next to it. Okay, so you're the closest ones to the rec center. And then also you're the closest residence hall to the actual football stadium, which is really, really exciting because when football games are happening, you're in the middle of the action. There's so much happening like right there in front of your building, and you're literally 3-4 steps away from the actual football stadium. But don't worry, like let's say that, there's a football game happening, but you have a test next day, so you have to be studying, right? The good thing is that the Parkview is actually soundproof. So you can be inside studying and you won't be bothered by the noise of the football game. So, but obviously I recommend you go to the football games. They're a lot of fun. Okay, so besides that, if you look at the room layout right under the big picture of Parkview, you can see what a typical Parkview room looks like. They're also our biggest and our nicest rooms. So you will have your own room with your own lock, a full twin-size bed. It's really, really nice. There's also bathrooms on each side. So there's 4 people per suite. But you have your own room, and the most you'll ever share a bathroom with is one other person. So really, really convenient. This little middle section is my favorite, which not a lot of rooms have. So you've got a big living room area with a couch. You can hook up a TV. You get free HBO Go, Philo, basic cable, Cinemax. So you're all good to go with entertainment. And you have a table where you can sit down and eat, study, whatever you'd like. And then we also have a kitchen. So if you don't live in the Honors Parkview housing, and you live in another residence hall, you might not have a kitchen. Actually, that's for freshmen. You might have a kitchen, but it's still nice to have a kitchen in there. Okay. A couple more things that are really, really important. The entire building is hurricane proof, which I think is so, so awesome. So it's the safest place on campus if a hurricane does decide to come near South Florida. Okay, so obviously, God forbid, but if it does happen, you're in the safest location on campus. All the windows are hurricane proof. You won't even have to leave your room. You'll just be able to stay there, right there, and you'll be as safe as possible. But my favorite part about Parkview is the community aspect. You can see some of the pictures here. So we have a lot of events that happen at Parkview. Also, all the resident assistants, there's 2 on every floor there to help you with whatever you need. They're all honor students as well. So they're there to help you with whatever you need. And we have a bunch of events that are happening every single week. So we've had open mics there last semester, in the fall semester, last fall. We even had like a movie night for Halloween where we watched Beetlejuice projected onto a big screen. Everybody sat on the grass. We had candy and chips, and we had a costume contest. So we have a bunch of different events like that happening all over Parkview. There's study rooms on every floor. We have the Edge Lab on the 4th floor, which is amazing. We're going to talk about the Edge Lab in a little bit, but it's a big maker space where you can use 3D printers, whatever you can imagine. So there's a lot of opportunity to meet other students at Parkview, which is my favorite part of it. We can go to the next slide. Awesome. So honors special events. So there's a lot of events that we do as the honors college, and I'm typically in charge of most of the events that happen, which is really, really exciting. So a couple things. One of the things that I think is most important about being a part of the honors college, like Shelby mentioned earlier, is that you're really reaching outside of your major. You know, we help you connect and be a more well-rounded human. Okay, so that's basically the entire point of the honors college. You know, just making you a more well-rounded person. So we have a bunch of different events like Dinner with Future Leaders. So that's basically where we bring alumni who have been doing amazing things in their field to sit down and have like a really informal, casual conversation with our students with some food. So last semester we had an alumni named Brian Abramson, who's an expert in vaccine and immunization law, and he came and he spoke with our students. So we have things like that happening all the time. We visited an accounting firm, Kaufman Rosin. It's a lot of fun, and you get to really sit down with professionals and network, which is the most important thing. Lectures. So we have honors college lectures called honors hours that happen every single week, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And those lectures, like I said, they're there to help you branch out of your major and hear different topics that you might not hear about if you're just going to class. Okay, so and they're fun, which is the best part. So we've had lectures like things like how Game of Thrones relates to real life and international relations. On Valentine's Day, we had a healthy relationship workshop to help you identify what a healthy relationship means, how to change a tire. So we have an adulting 101 series where we teach you things about being an adult that sometimes you don't learn in school or in classes. We've visited criminal court that I almost cried in, you know, seeing people come in and speak and give their and talk about what's been happening in their life after recently being let out of prison, which was amazing. With one of our alumni who's a judge, we've made our own aromatherapy. We've talked about discovering your why, like why you're doing the things that you're doing. We've had open mics, movie nights, whatever you can imagine. A lot of fun stuff. Athletic events, really important, especially in the fall. So if you like football or basketball or anything, we have a lot of things called honors nights where we go with our honor shirts. So you can kind of see one of our honors nights for football right here in the bottom left. And we go to these sporting events together as an honors college. We watch them together, have a lot of fun, especially during the fall when we go to the football honors nights. We all take a picture down in the on the actual field with President Rosenberg every year. Okay, and then we also have like things like our own honors homecoming tailgate. So it's a lot of fun. When it comes to virtual events, this is very, very important. with everything that's going on right now, we've had a pretty smooth transition over to virtual experiences and virtual learning. Okay, so if you look up here on top, we have like a little logo for something called More Than a Major. So it's our brand new Honors College podcast that we just started, and it's basically an opportunity for students to connect with other students, with alumni, with community partners in a more informal setting. So if you want to hear a little bit about what current honor students are doing and what they think about what's going on right now and about just school in general, it's a lot of fun. So we've had things like students who have graduated and started working at Xbox, and now they have their dream job at Xbox. And we talked about kind of like that interview process and how to land your dream job. We've had Brian Abramson, like I talked about earlier, talking about how long it's going to take to form a vaccine and what this means for society in general. We've had some of our art students come on and talk about how to stay creative during this time. So we've had that with our podcast. It's a lot of fun. We're going to continue that over the summer. But then we've also had virtual events, like we had an Honors College virtual pet party where students brought their pet onto a Zoom conference and we all kind of introduced our pets to each other and hung out. We've had a cooking class that showed you how to make simple dishes with 5 ingredients. Whatever you can imagine, we've been doing it virtually. So we're going to continue that. And it's been a lot of fun. So make sure to check that out. We just had a check-in where we just kind of talked about how people are feeling during this time. So virtual events have been a lot of fun. So make sure to check out the podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, if you want to hear a little bit about the student perspective right now. Awesome. Now we have Hearts. So Hearts is a lot of fun. Like I said, so let's say you're a STEM major, but you really want to like dabble in something artistic, right? But maybe since you're a STEM major, you don't have that much of an opportunity to do so. If you're part of the Honors College, you can definitely do that. So Hearts stands for Honors Education in the Arts. So we have a bunch of different Hearts organizations as well. So things like the Honors College Photography Club, the Honors College Connecting Cultures Club, the Honors College Writing Club. We even have an a cappella group called the Heartbeats. Okay, so if you want to join one of these clubs, if you're interested in photography, art, and writing, whatever you can imagine, we have a club for you. Some of the really cool things that we do also with Hearts and events, every year we get free Art Basel tickets for our students to go see different Art Basel galleries. We do South Beach food and wine events, so we get free tickets to that as well. For the Arts Center, we're always getting free tickets for shows at the Arts Center or Performing Arts Center in Miami. This last semester, we went to Piano Slam, which was a beautiful spoken word, poetry, piano concert. It was amazing. And then we always do early movie premieres. So if you're a movie person, if you're a movie buff, almost every Friday we're watching a movie together and then dissecting what that movie means afterwards. But then we're also getting free advance tickets to see movies that are coming out soon. So we do that all the time. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so this is how you become a well-rounded student, and this is what I love the most. One of the things that I love the most about the Honors College is the fact that we really help you, just branch a little bit out of your major and do something that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Some of my favorite things that Hearts have done that is really, really exciting. So after this, make sure to go on Google and look this up because it's one of my favorite things ever. If you look up the FIU Blue parking garage, on the 5th floor, there's a poem written on the 5th floor that you can only see from the sky. Our Honors College Hearts Club did that with a organization in Miami called Oh Miami, and they wrote a 4th grade student's poem on the top of the Blue Garage. Okay, there's a bunch of things like that that we've done. So we really help you just explore arts and culture in Miami. Right now, when it comes to virtual events that are happening with Hearts, we've done virtual tours of the Perez Art Museum, virtual tours of the Jewish Museum in Miami. So a lot of really exciting virtual events are happening with Hearts right now as well. And like I said, we're encouraging our students to stay creative right now. We've been asking our students, what are you doing right now to stay creative? Are you playing music? Are you rapping? Are you skateboarding? Are you trying to pick up a new instrument? And like I said, we interviewed some of our students about that on the podcast. So it's been a lot of fun. Awesome. We can go to the next one. Perfect. So honors organization. So when it comes, like I said, we have different types of organizations. So we have the Hearts organizations, but then we also have just our regular non-Hearts organizations. So we have things like PATH, which is Pre-Law Association Through Honors, STITCH, which stands for Students Taking Initiative Through Collaboration in Honors, MINDS, which stands for Miami Initiative for Interdisciplinary Studies, Green Campus Initiative, and PUSH, which are some of the bigger organizations that we have. So PUSH stands for Panthers Unite in Support of Health. So these are all different organizations encompassing a bunch of different pre-med aspects, a bunch of different just general wellness aspects. Like PUSH, they really focus on just helping you be a more healthy student. MINDS focuses on helping you be as interdisciplinary as possible and exposing students to a bunch of different topics. But some of my favorite events that these organizations have done, for example, PATH, our Pre-Law Association. they're the ones who put together the visit to go see Criminal Court with Judge Diaz, one of our alumni. Stitch, they do a mission trip every year to Peru or to different parts of Southern America or Central America, which is a lot of fun. So Peru, Stitch was also on the podcast, and I promise I'm not plugging this podcast constantly, but it's new and it's in the top of my head. But Stitch, they were on the podcast and they talked about how impactful their Peru mission trip was. Okay, so that's really cool. Mines has something called Less Stress Fest that they do every year, which is a big festival basically in the housing quad. They have different stations that help you de-stress during finals. The Green Campus Initiative is trying to eliminate all plastic single-use bags from campus. And then Push does this thing called Field Day, which they basically have fruits, they have vegetables, they do yoga, and they have different organizations battling against each other in a field day. And then all the money that is raised goes towards whoever the winning organization is, towards their charity of choice. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the Honors College. But the most important thing that I want you to take away from this and the organizations you see here is two things. Number one, if you're looking at all these organizations here, but you don't see something that interests you, you can actually start your own club. And you can do that just through the Honors College. You can also do that through CSO. But if you want to start an honors organization, you just have to contact me, and we can help you work through that and start that organization and start getting members and just creating your new club. So it's a lot of fun. But then also, just getting involved is the most important thing you can do with your honors experience and with your college experience. Find something you like, find something you're passionate about, and just go all in on that. That's how you're going to differentiate yourself when you're applying to grad school, when you're applying to different leadership positions, and just when you're trying to become a better person. So make sure you get as involved as possible, because it's really going to be as rewarding as you think. Awesome. Cool. So thank you guys. And I'll be answering more of your questions. You're on mute, Shelby.
Nice. I pulled an Enrique. A few things before I continue on with career services is that there is a virtual tour on our website of Parkview. So if you go to prospective student and then you go to honors residential life, you will see a virtual tour of Parkview right here. It's a little video. So once again, honors.fiu.edu, prospective students, and then honors residential life. Just keep in mind, you don't have to live on campus or live at Parkview. It's an option. It's just a benefit of being in the honors college. Okay, with that said, I'll go back to career services. So what's great about the Honors College, we do have our own career advisor. Now, I want to read this. I know you guys can read. 90% of companies that's experience is the most important element in hiring a recent graduate. What does that mean? That means that a lot of job posts or applications are looking for students or recent graduates that have a 4-year degree, right, normally, and like 2 or 3 years of experience. And how are you supposed to get that? It's through internships or jobs that you're currently trying to pursue. So the Honors College offers exclusive internship opportunities. We help you build your resume, your cover letter, improving interview skills, and what that might mean, because let's say you do end up getting a job at this time. A lot of employers are doing interviews through a format like this. How do you stand out? How do you make your personality go through a webcam? We can help you prepare for that. Understanding how to dress, even if that means wearing a blazer at the top that they can see in your webcam interview and basketball shorts at the bottom. You know, it is what it is. But we can definitely go ahead and help you prepare for those things. And the other thing I want to mention is the Honors College has an amazing partnership with FIU in DC. The FIU in DC Talent Lab office is always looking for honor students to fill internships and job positions. And there's a silver lining with everything going on with COVID. A lot of students who may not have thought of going to the FIU and DC internship opportunities are now doing it, because a lot of those internships are now being done online, which is great. And this doesn't mean that if you're interested only in political or policy things that you pursue things in FIU and DC. It could be if you're interested in IT or psychology. DC is the political hub, or the hub of all things political, but it doesn't mean it's just limited to that. And we have, like I said, a great resource and partnership with them. So some other student privileges and exclusive perks that come with being an honors college student is priority registration, everyone's favorite. You get to pick classes before anyone else. We also have personalized advising, so you'll not only get an advisor in your major, you will also get an advisor in the honors college. What's great about the honors college advisor is there's more like your Yoda to your Jedi journey. So they'll be telling you, you can ask them, how do I prepare for graduate school? What do I need? When do I take the LSAT? When do I take the MCAT? When do I take the GRE? Should I be looking at graduate school? When should I be applying? We can be helping you. The advisors can help you with answering those questions. We also have pre-law and pre-med benefits. So we do have, for example, the early assurance program into the College of Law, which can be found more information on our website under the current students tab. We also have a guaranteed interview with the College of Medicine if you reach a certain criteria, which is great. So things like that as well. We also have extended library privileges, so you can check out a book longer than most students. I forget what the exact number is, but that is an option. And then we also have our own scholarships. So when you go to our website, honors.fiu.edu, you're gonna click on prospective students and then Honors College Scholarships. Once you click on that tab, you're gonna see 3 boxes. You're gonna click on the box that says newly admitted transfer students, okay? So we have pretty generous transfer scholarships. No, they are not guaranteed. They are competitive. It says it up here. So pretty much how it works is that we have our application opens October 1st for the honors application. So your honors application will serve as the essays and resume for qualifications or to qualify for the transfer scholarships. And it has the information here. So you have to apply to FIU first. You have to complete your honors college application. You can send evidence of awards or any recognition you may have had. And then you're gonna send 2 letters, or your professor, excuse me, will send 2 letters to hcadmissions@fiu.edu. Please do not send it to this address because no one is at the office at the Honors College. We're all working remotely, so this email is the best option. And these are a couple of our scholarship options. So if you are a Miami-Dade college transfer, you will be going ahead and when you have your professor submit your 2 letters of recommendation, you will be automatically automatically considered for the Eduardo Padron Scholarship, which is the minimum of a 3.5 GPA, a transfer GPA, and it covers the full cost of in-state tuition and registration fees. And then you'll also be considered for the Community College Scholarship. We also have 2 PTK scholarships. If you do want to be considered for these, you will need to send, or your PTK advisor will need to send a letter of recommendation to qualify. And then we have the Willis and Holcomb for my Broward College graduates. If you do send or you have your letter submitted, you'll be considered for this scholarship, as well as the Community College Honors Scholarship. And then we have the Presidential. Okay, this does not include Broward and or Miami-Dade graduates because you guys already have your own full ride scholarship that you can potentially qualify for. This one's more for students who are coming from, for example, Palm Beach State College or Hillsborough, a different Florida community college, okay? So once again, this is all found on our website, what's needed to apply, what are the amounts, what you need to do, and even the requirements and things like that found at the very bottom. And this is going to be under Honors College, prospective students and Honors College scholarships, and then you're gonna pick on the transfer scholarships tab, okay? Super important because everyone, wants to know about money. So the other thing that we have to offer is the Edge Lab. So the Edge Lab is the Student and Technology Study Center. This is a place within FIU that has, 3D printers, a green screen. It has a sound system if you want to be like a SoundCloud rapper, for all I know. We have different opportunities for you to go ahead and learn different, machines, machinery and things like that, even a soldering machine. We actually do have a student during this time 3D printing face masks for nurses that are battling COVID-19 right now. We allowed him to take the 3D printer home and do that because he had an interest in doing that as well. So that's something that we do offer. Hopefully, when we go back to campus, you guys can see it live and in person. If not, we will be working on online workshops during this time because like I said, we've been doing a lot of online things to go ahead and make sure you're still connected. We also have access to exclusive internship services, which I mentioned, and research opportunities and conference opportunities. A lot of research conventions, even the ARCH or the UR-FIU research convention that's happening will be moving potentially to remote in September if need be. We also have been giving opportunities for remote internships, like I mentioned, the one in FIU in DC, as well as micro internships that are remote. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff to offer. And then I do want to mention some graduation benefits and special recognition. So once you graduate from honors, you will receive a certificate, which is right here, this yellow honors tassel. And you also get a medallion. You will get a private graduation assembly with the Honors College where you can invite all your family members, mom, grandma, grandpa. We serve hors d'oeuvres and things like that. We also, at the university commencement, this is the major commencement ceremony for your major. You will be able to sit front row in the at the ceremony, and then also President Mark Rosenberg will go ahead and give a shout out to you, like, oh, honors is in the house, pretty much. And then on your transcripts, you will get graduated through the Honors College within on your transcripts. So if you, let's say you go to graduate school or you go to a job interview or you send your transcripts to a job, they will see that you did graduate through the Honors College. So Shelby, that sounds wonderful. How do I apply? I'm glad you asked. So the application has been open since October the 1st. Oops, I pressed the button. Application is open since October the 1st, and we have a final deadline of May 1st. You will need a 3.3 transfer GPA to apply. I'll show you on our website. You're going to go to prospective students, then applying, and it's going to have all that information on that page. So you will need a 3.3 college GPA. Your partial transcripts can do for now. I believe if David can answer this, you will need to send your final transcripts once you graduate, correct? From any transfer institution?
Yes, but at this time, if you graduate before, you can get the official ones. We'll accept unofficial as well.
Yeah, so we will use whatever FIU uses, okay? So once you go ahead and send those transcripts, and as long as you meet this GPA, you will see the honors application on your Panther portal. On the next slide of my presentation, I do have a visual that you can see how it looks. And then you will submit a 500-word essay. You have one of 3 options. You can find the essay options here under this required documentation hyperlink. Then you're going to do a 300-word personal statement of why you want to join the Honors College, whether it be because of the engagement events, because of the classes we offer, because of study abroad, or what the case is. You're also going to submit your resume. I understand as transfers, you may have a resume that is not so much academic heavy, or maybe it is academic heavy, or maybe it's more work heavy and not so much academic heavy. Whatever the case is, just include everything that you can on there. We want to see if you're working. We want to see if you're engaged in academic events and endeavors. So you can go ahead and include that. And then on here, we have the optional 2 letters of recommendation to be considered for scholarships, which are the transfer scholarships that I just showed you. And you can go ahead and see more information. I'll send you to that link there. Keep in mind, I didn't mention this, you can only qualify for 1 transfer scholarship from the Honors College. With that said, for example, let's say I'm a Miami-Dade graduate, I submit my 2 letters of recommendation, and I want to get the Eduardo Padron scholarship, and then I also want to get the PTK, okay? It doesn't work like that. You can only get 1 scholarship. So let's say we'll award you Eduardo Padron, and you're like, what about the PTK one? It's like, you already awarded the Eduardo Padron, okay? The All Florida is also another full ride scholarship, by the way, but you have to have competed or been a member of the All Florida PTK team. And I do want to mention that you can stack scholarships. So let's say you join the Honors College and you get the Eduardo Padron, and then you want to join, or then you get a scholarship from FIU undergraduate admissions, and then you get a scholarship for your major. You can stack those scholarships. You can most definitely do that. And then, so yeah, that's the option. If for whatever reason you do not meet the criteria to apply, you could always apply as a current FIU student when your GPA posts. We only have fall admission in the Honors College. So even if you start FIU in the summer, that would be your major courses. And then you would start your honors course in the fall. And let's go back to the presentation. I do want to mention about the priority deadline and what that means. So the priority deadline, January 15th, I know it passed, but that was for special consideration for scholarships. So we already sent our first batch of scholarship awards on April 1st, but there will be a second batch being sent out at the end of May or beginning of June. Okay, so if any of you in here that already sent in your letters are like, oh, like I haven't waited, you may be in the second batch. That shouldn't discourage you from sending your letters of recommendation in. I still think you should apply. There's still a chance you can get something. That just means, like, let's say I have 2 applicants, they're both great, I like them both, but let's say one applied January 1st and the other one applied March 8th, the deciding factor between them will be who applied earlier. That would be like the tiebreaker, for example, just to better understand what a pride deadline means as far as a transfer student perspective. But definitely you should still consider it because, you know, we look at everything. We do a holistic review for our honors application and our scholarships. We don't just look at your GPA. We also look at, you know, your resume. We look at your essays. We look at everything because we understand that GPA doesn't mean everything for a student. So that's why we look at all those things. So once again, I have the visual for it. You're going to go to My FIU, log into your Panther portal. Keep in mind that you would have to have already applied to FIU. You do not have to wait till you're accepted. You're going to click on admissions and then apply to honors right there. It will take 4 to 6 business weeks to get a decision. So I will mention that. And decisions are sent via email. Is there any questions so far, Enrique?
Hello. Okay, we only have, when it comes to applications, I guess you can answer this one if you have a little bit of time right now. Basically, it says, if I have a scholarship with the Honors College, is there a deadline to when I have to pay our admissions deposit for honors? If I miss the first deadline, will I lose my scholarship?
So there is no admissions deposit for honors, but there is one for FIU, and you have to commit to FIU if you're going to commit to honors. Even though they're separate processes, they both have to be done. So if I'm not mistaken, for FIU, it's $100 admissions deposit. Is that correct, David?
200.
200, excuse me. I was giving you guys a $100 discount. So it's a $200 deposit. And then for honors, it's confirming via your survey found in the admissions letter. Okay. If you receive the scholarship from the Honors College, it did entail in your message, your award letter, what you need to do as far as you know, committing to FIU and committing to honors and what you need to do. It's all detailed in there. So just make sure you read that award letter carefully because it's all entailed there as well. Okay. Any other questions?
We have one more real quick, just going back to scholarships again for one quick second. Are the scholarships made for one person or is it for multiple students?
So the scholarships are available for multiple students. The amount of students who are awarded each year change. I will tell you that there will be less students being awarded the Community College Scholarship Award because last year it was only $750 for the whole year, and I talked to my supervisor and we upped it to $1,000, which is pretty cool. So just to keep that in mind for this, and moving forward, anyone who receives that scholarship will be $1,000. But it may be like one less person that would get it. But there's still a good amount of people, and also depends on the previous year. I will mention that those scholarships are only good for 2 years and for fall and spring semester. So they don't cover summer semester, and you should be taking 15 credits each semester for fall and spring. And then all that's also on the scholarship page as well. Anything else? Maybe? No?
Yeah, we're good for right now.
Perfect. That's great. So that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to shoot a question in the Q&A. I want to mention that we do have a website, which I've been showing you guys throughout the presentation. There's also an Instagram. So FIU Honors is more of the current FIU Instagram, like for current students, but you can still follow it. And then FIU Honors Join is the one that I run. So you can always DM me for any questions you may have. I usually get back faster to DMs versus email, but I'm still pretty quick at emails. So if there's any questions you want to ask, you can always feel free to email me at hcadmissions@fiu.edu. Also, our number is working. We have student assistants answering our phone calls at 305-348-4100. And I do want to leave you with this information that, you know, the Honors College has a lot to offer you guys, or it's like a stream of opportunity. And there's a bunch of different resources that you can pick up. So all the resources that there are available to you, you can use all of it that it has, or you can pick up a few things. The choice is yours. You don't have to pick up like internships, and you don't have to do all those things, but it's important to know that there is a lot of available resources for you, even as transfer students. We do hold special events like Transfer Student Tuesday and things like that. And we do hold special events for transfers because we understand that you may need different things than a freshman, and we keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, right before we leave, just going off of Shelby's point, one of the most exciting things that I always look forward to at the beginning of the fall semester when we have our new incoming honor students is that we have something called our Dean's Week of Welcome, where we have an entire week of events that is basically constructed just to welcome you into the Honors College, answer any questions you may have, but then also help you meet other students. And we have one day just dedicated to transfer students. Okay, so right now we're brainstorming what we're gonna do this year, but just keep in mind, stay up to date with our Instagram at FIU Honors. And I also want to remind everybody here that this is being recorded. So if you guys want to watch this later, if you guys have any questions or you forgot maybe what we said, you guys this is going to be emailed to you. So you guys are going to get this video in an email. Okay. Oh, and then also, sorry, last thing. If you do have any questions about student programs, clubs, volunteer opportunities, whatever you can imagine, you can also email me if you'd like. My email is eroselle@fiu.edu. So you can email me there as well.
Yeah,
You
we'll
can
stay
you can
here
find
for
me.
a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions, I see there's one question that lit up in the Q&A box, so we'll be here.
Oh, sorry. So I'm answering a question right now. She says, if I'm transferring to FIU for summer C term, when should I apply for honors? So the deadline is May 1st. So as long as you apply before May 1st, you'll be okay.
Yeah, by May 1st. So for example, you're applying for fall 2020 admission, right? So we work almost like a year in advance. So the application's open from October 1st to May 1st to apply for fall 2020. Once May 1st comes, then it opens up again October 1st of 2020 until May 1st of 2021 for fall of 2021 admission.
Yes.
And that's all on our website. On the applying link, honors.fiu.edu, you click on prospective students, then applying, and it has that information there as well.
Mm-hmm. Someone's asking how you spell my last name. It's Rosell. So 1 S, 2 L's. So you can reach me there, and I can answer any questions you have about anything.
Yeah.
Or
Also,
maybe not anything.
let me show you real quick too. Oh, I'm like the most technologically unsavvy person on this planet, but I think I'm doing pretty good. Go to
You're doing awesome.
honors.fiu.edu, about honors, and then you click on honors college staff over here. I'm going to show cute little pictures of everyone in the honors. There's our dean, there's some of the advisors, there's the director, and there's Enrique, and there's his email. And then I'm all the way at the bottom, I think, yeah. Wearing a turtleneck in Miami, that's me. All right, does anybody have any other questions? Or you can just stare at me and Enrique and Jocelyn's nice picture for 20 minutes. I'm just kidding, not 20 minutes.
No more questions. You guys are good. Can you repeat what you said about the deadline? Yeah, so our deadline to apply is May 1st. So as long as you apply before May 1st, you'll be okay. You'll be considered to join the Honors College for fall 2020.
Yeah, it's applying, so you're not guaranteed any admission, and then you have to meet the requirements. So that's all can be found under prospective students and then applying. It's all here. You can see here the deadline. You can see that this is for 2021 for fall admission. It has all how to apply as well as the required documentation. You can do essays, and then the criteria. And then if you can just click this hyperlink, it'll tell you information about scholarships as well.
Awesome. Let's see, we have how many students usually apply for scholarships?
Depends. So for Miami-Dade, I want to say it's like maybe 120 students. For Broward College, I can't think of the number now. I want to say it's like, I can't remember how many Broward students, but it's a lot of students. I know last year we were able to award every Broward College student with some sort of scholarship. So every year it changes. Some years we have a lot of Broward College students that want to come to FIU in honors. So it varies. So yeah, I mean, it changes. All I say is you should always send your 2 letters of recommendation, because the worst thing that's going to happen is you're not going to get awarded anything. And then if you don't apply, you could potentially gotten something. So definitely have your professor send in 2 letters of recommendation, and you can just click on this hyperlink and it should bounce you into the page with all the requirements and what's needed under each of them.
Mm-hmm. So we have another question. Do the letters of recommendation have to be submitted before the deadline?
It should be submitted by May 1st. We're kind of being a little bit flexible, letters of recommendation coming in a little bit after. It's just the thing is the second batch of awardees will be announced at the end of May. So I would suggest try getting them in no later than May 15th. It even says the final
Okay.
deadline.
This is a good question. So they are asking, if you go into your FIU portal and do not see the application for Honors College, does that mean I am eligible? I'm ineligible, I guess.
It could mean that you're ineligible. It could mean that you maybe potentially already applied and you forgot. I've gotten a couple of those. It could mean that your transcripts maybe have not been uploaded yet. There could be several reasons. If you want to email me at HC Admissions or DM me on Instagram, I can check for you exactly and see what's particularly going on in your case. If you want me to check, like, for sure. So Panther ID would be great. And your question, whether Instagram or email. I hope you guys laughed at like our jokes. I never know if they do.
Yeah, it's hard to be funny via Zoom, but I promise we're funnier in person. Dakota's asking, what's your Insta?
FIU Honors Join. I'll put it here. I'll put it back on the slide.
Dakota says she laughed. All right, we got one.
Yay! Great. It's like, unless we do that every time I do a joke. So FIU Honors Join right here. I like Dakota. I love the name Dakota.
Okay, Juliana says, thank you guys for being so informative. Can't wait to transfer in fall 2020. Hopefully this pandemic goes away after this. Juliana, yes, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for joining. We're really excited. Obviously, we're keeping up to date with everything that's happening with COVID. And if you kind of, I promise I'm not plugging this, I promise you. But if you want to hear just a little bit more about like how other students are coping with this, and I feel that's really therapeutic and cathartic for me, check out the podcast because we have a lot of students talking about how they're dealing with this. So, and like kind of like what's going on in the world. So it's a lot of fun and it makes me feel a lot more comforted. So check that out if you want.
It's the Juliana that I know it is, like the one I've been emailing back and forth, because there's only like very few Julianas that applied. So hey, what's up? Nice to see you. Not really see you. Nice to see me. I don't know.
Anonymous attendee says, finally someone with the same sense of humor. And Dakota says she likes you too.
Awesome, guys. I feel like I should have been a little bit more like this in the other session for freshmen. I feel like there was a lot of information. It was just like that.
Yeah. Juliana says, yes. Hey, Shelby.
I'm really good with names. It's really weird. Like I'll remember you like 5 years from now. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you. It's just it won't register until I see your faces. So I just know names now and emails.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, anybody?
Yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes.
A couple more minutes.
I actually did Panther Alumni Week for an honors class, and there was a student, and he said his name, and I was like, oh yeah, you live here and here, and you went to this school, and you're majoring in this, and he was like, how do you know all those things? I was like, I don't know. I'll remember everything except for the answers of my exam for my master's program.
Right.
And I think he went from like 2012, you know?
We have a couple more questions. Jen is asking, do you have to be full-time to be in honors?
No, you do not. But if you get in transfer scholarship, you have to be full-time, 15 credits. They sometimes make exceptions, but you have to let us know beforehand. But you do not have to be full-time. You just have to take the course. So yeah, and you can finish honors as soon as like you take fall and spring, then summer A and summer B. So technically your senior year, you don't have to take any honors courses, but you don't have to be full-time, no.
Yeah. Dakota's asking, can you take more than one honors class?
So unfortunately, you can't stack. The only way you can stack is if you do a study abroad and an honors seminar. And the way that would work is you would take IDH 3034 in the fall. Then you would take the study abroad spring course with IDH 3035, and then you would do a study abroad in summer A. You can, however, for honors courses, which I can show you here, take multiple of them because like different subjects, like fall you can take one class and then spring you take a different topic. Some of them are mandatory year long though, but that's like the only way you can take up to maybe 4 classes. which you can kind of see here. Like for example, this one.
Oh man, I think I might have accidentally answered the wrong question. Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue.
So this one's like a year long, but you can do Sex in the City. That one's new. I've never seen that one. And then you can do the original film in spring.
Okay, let's see. We have a couple more questions. Are we the ones who accept you into the program or not?
We the ones who accept you. Oh, I'm part of the committee. Yes, that'd be one of me and another couple of other people, but I am one of them.
Let's
So
see.
yes, hello.
Can you show them where to find the full list of requirements?
As far as applying or?
Yeah, for applying.
Yeah, so prospective students and then applying on the honors website. So honors.fiu.edu /apply also brings you here /requirements, and it has all of it there. If you want to take a picture of it, you can do that. My recommendation is just to go to the link, and it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. And then we have, if I apply now for honors, will I still be eligible for scholarships?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, like you should have your letters of recommendation be sent in now, because technically the final deadline's May 1st. I mean, I don't mind being a little open to coming a little bit later because the next batch is not going to go out to the end of May. But definitely still do it. Like I said, the worst thing that can happen is we say no, but it's still definitely an opportunity for you to get some moolah.
Yes, so now this is another good question. Carlos is asking, can someone join after 1 or 2 semesters at FIU?
So if you're a transfer student, the way it works is okay, how can I explain it? As long as you have space, okay? So if you do decide to take or to apply to honors, like after you're a current FIU student, my recommendation to you is not to take any classes that satisfy your upper division electives or your global learning requirement, because honors can satisfy that. So you would just need to have a 3.3 GPA, apply by October the 1st when the application opens. Hopefully you get admitted and you can start in fall of 2021. You would take your class in fall, spring, but the earliest you'd be able to graduate would be summer B of 2022. Wow, it seems so far away. I hope that clarifies what you're asking.
Awesome. Then we have Yuko asks, the letter of recommendation sent by mail, but should it be sent by email?
Yeah, so on the scholarship page, when you click on it, it says that you should do it by email, like HC admissions, right there.
Mm-hmm. And then we have, is study abroad only for honors?
So these study abroads that I talked about are for honors, but there are study abroad options for your major or for FIU. I'm biased. I like the honors ones better, and I went on one before, so maybe that's why I'm biased. But you can click on the study abroad tab and learn more about it, the prices, how it works, and things like that. If you even click on, like, for example, let's say you want to go to Italy. If you click on Italy, it will give you a description about it and like who is the one that oversees that. Grand Tour, I don't know how to say that.
Redu. I think it's Redu.
I don't know. And it tells you where you're going to go and all that stuff and what you're going to do. And then it's with Jean Bailly. He's a French artist. The dates you're going to go, the amount of physical activity, because you hike a mountain in Italy. It's amazing. So yeah, I actually want to take my honeymoon in Italy, once all is well.
Mm-hmm.
Or Australia or South Africa would be pretty cool.
Okay, so 2 quick questions just came in. Can non-honors college students take part in study abroad? Yes, they have like regular, FIU study abroad, but not for the ones that we're mentioning here. These are just for honor students. And then we have, will there be any study abroad in the fall semester?
No. So as of right now, there's no study abroad in the fall semester. All of our study abroad will be to do the class in spring of 2021 and then embark on the trip in summer of 2021. And that's pending everything is okay in the world and we can go ahead and do that. Obviously, the safety of our students is the number one priority and our concern. And, we want to make sure that that's something that's eligible. Like last semester, all the study abroad trips got canceled because it was in the summer and it was about to start. And we did refund those students. So we want to make sure that your safety is our number one priority and you are taken care of in that aspects.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Juliana asked a really cool question. She says, not a question about honors. She's asking how you guys are coping with this pandemic. I hope you all are well. And yes, like I said earlier, this is something that I've had, I've been really lucky enough to be able to discuss with a lot of our students and our alumni. But like a little bit about myself, I play music and I take pictures. So I've been really trying to take this time to do a little bit more of that. I've been trying to read more, but I've also been trying to put less pressure on myself. I'm sure you've heard this already, but and we've talked about this a lot on the podcast, especially with the Healthy Living Program. That might be an episode you might want to look into. We had some staff members from the Healthy Living Program talking about this, but I feel like I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself to be like, to create. But I'm trying to tell myself that it's okay to just relax and not do anything. So that's kind of how I'm hoping, just how I'm coping, focusing on things that I like to do when I have some free time, but then also realizing that it's okay to not do anything if I want to. And I hope you're doing well too, Juliana. And I hope we get to see you soon. I don't know if Shelby wants to say something.
Yes, so I became a parent. That means I got a puppy. So I've been exploring that. It's been nice.
She's
Her
adorable.
name is Daisy. She's a golden retriever. I also think she might be part piranha because she bites a lot, but I think those people lied to me when she said she was a full-bred golden retriever. I think it's a lie. She's been great. I've been cooking a lot. I see a lot. I'm the kind of person that's very positive. I don't think the glass is half empty or half full. I think it's 100% full. It's half full of water, half full of air. So it's all perspective, really. And I've been able to cook every day. I've been able to spend more time with my fiance. I've been able to actually be outdoors more, work out, and just kind of like it's been nice in the sense that people are being out more and being able to be with their kids more. Whether some people can endure it or not. Luckily, I think I've been trying to see the best of what's going on, and I just hope everyone's being safe kind of too. And I hope you're enjoying this time and, getting into activities maybe you haven't done before. I know one of our advisors was saying that actually a lot of geniuses come out of like quarantine or the last quarantine, like the Black Plague or something like that. A lot of, I don't know if it was Mozart or somebody, I don't know. She was saying that some geniuses would come out during this time. But definitely you can't like look at all the doom and gloom. You got to think of the positives. And I think that's what gets you through it, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming.
I agree.
To talk.
Any other questions?
No.
Tried to make macaroons the other day. Shelby saw. They didn't come out very well.
I saw the pictures of them. They didn't look very appetizing. I
You know,
think like photography and music.
Yeah, they tasted good, but have you guys heard of Avid? No, I don't know what that is.
What's Avid?
Avid.
Avid. I heard of Avis. It's a car rental company.
Juliana says, no problem, and I'm doing well. That is great to hear. I encourage everyone to take this time to gain peace of mind. Yep, I agree.
Read some books. I haven't read a book in a long time.
I actually have the book that you gave me right here, The Defining Decade. I got to crack it open. Still haven't read it, but I've got it here in my stack of books that need to be read.
Yes. A couple more minutes, guys. We have until 45, I think, before Jocelyn kicks us out.
Any other questions? I feel like there's more to talk about. Let's see.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what to talk about. I guess I'll keep plugging this podcast. Here we go. So one thing that I think is also cool is that we have a form. Juliana has to go, but I wish you all the best. Bye. We wish you the best as well. Stay safe. But yeah, one thing I think is cool is that we have a form for students that you can submit to be a part of the podcast. So if any of you guys, once you guys become part of the Honors College, if you guys want to come on, you guys can fill out our form and kind of talk about, fill in some topics that you might want to touch upon, and then I'll reach out to you and we can talk about it. And then we can record a podcast. So if you've ever wanted to be a part of a podcast, or if you know any people that any of your friends you think might be interesting, you can let us know too. It'll be fun.
19 people in here. I'm like, hey guys, like, what's up?
Yeah.
It's probably
The podcast is called, someone's asking what the name of it is. It's called More Than a Major. You can look it up on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. So yeah, we picked that name because that's the whole thing that we do in honors, just making sure that that you realize that, you're more than just your major. There's so many more things out there, and We try to do that every day with everything that we do with honors. Let's see. Anonymous attendee says, what is the difference in taking an honors class? Great question.
So for me personally, I thought the honors courses had me engage more because they are smaller setting and the professor kind of like gets you to like put your input and you have like a safe space where you can give your ideas and you can voice your opinion. And it also kind of makes you think outside of the box. I feel like a lot of my major courses don't really make me think outside the box. It's kind of like you read the text, okay, you have a test, diagnose this person. I mean, obviously depending on your major. So it kind of, the honors courses helped me realize like how things interconnect and how things go together. Like, even though this is physics, how does physics go with theater? How does film go with religion and things like that? And I think because of the honors courses, it made me, you know, help critical thinking for me and help me become an outspoken person, express my ideas better. Not to mention, it helped me see different opportunities that I may not have done if I were a traditional FIU student. And it helped me get involved because I am not the most involved person. I was in high school, Miami-Dade, when I went there, I definitely was not involved. Kind of just like went to school, went home, went to work kind of thing, and go to the gym. And then in high school, I just played sports. So I was kind of like a jockey, I guess you would say. So honors kind of made me go into things that I maybe never thought before. And I was big into art too. I know this is not courses, but I was really big into art and dance, and I used to paint, and honors let me, you know, relive those things that I used to do that I forgot about, because life can become very like, you know, eat, sleep, school, work, eat, sleep, school, work. And you forget to do those things that make you uncomfortable. And you forget to do those things that, you know, you once found passion about, you know. You learn things that you may not have been passionate about, like non-for-profit organizations. Or I love classical music because of honors, because I went to the Adrian Art Center and watched a live orchestra concert, and I was like, yo, this is my like so yeah, like I that's why I think I did like kind of like a 360. Like I graduated from honors and came right back because I really believe in what they have to offer students, especially transfers. And that's why I came back to work for FIU, and they're also paying for my master's, which is kind of nice. So I could have mentioned that too. But I hope that answers your question, you know? So yeah.
Yeah. One thing I like about the classes as well is that they're also smaller. So you really get to know the people in your class and your professor, which I think is really, really nice, especially once you're starting to apply to grad school and you need those letters of recommendation. You know, it's so easy, you know, if you're not in honors, that you go to classes that are slightly larger. So then you don't really get to know your professor. So then at the end of your time at FIU, you're like, oh, I need a letter of recommendation. Who should I reach out to? But with honors, that's totally different. You really build that relationship with them. But then also we have one more question. How do we get this emailed to us? So since you registered for this, we have your information. So we'll send this out to you.
Yeah, and you can send this to your friends, and you can like make jokes about us.
Yeah, make us into memes.
Oh, like a TikTok thing or something?
Oh, TikTok.
I still haven't got on it. I think I always say I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, nah, let me not.
Can't do it.
So does anybody else have any questions, or we're good here? Yes, I'm gonna do the countdown. If you have any questions, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Oh, we got one. Is the workload, how different is the workload?
I think I feel like every class is different. It's kind of like a broad, every honors class is not the same. So for example, when I did Myth and Ritual and Film, I think it was 2 papers. We did vlogs every week, or every other week, which was pretty cool, about the movies we watched and what we noticed and the aspects of the film. And then we actually had to make our own film. I'm not gonna tell you my YouTube account because I know it's still there. So we made 2 movies. I did a movie about veganism and myth and ritual and meat culture in America, because I am a pescatarian. And at the time that I made the movie, I was a vegan. So yeah, I was really into that and how meat culture is in America. By no means am I advertising for veganism. It's cool to eat meat, no problem. I have no problem with that. It's a personal preference. And then I did a film about rituals. I did like a love spell movie. So it was
I'm
pretty.
asking how long were the pages for your classes, I guess? How long were the I think that I think this question I feel like a lot of people, and this is something that I always say, especially when I meet students or I'm taking them on tours of Parkview, I feel like students coming in from high school or from other colleges, sometimes they have the perception that honors means harder, but that's totally not the case here. And I actually was not an honor student, so when I started working for honors and doing more research about honors when I was applying for the job here, I thought also that, honors means harder, but that's not the case at all. Basically, what the honors college is about is just like we said, a million times during this presentation. It's about just exposing you to different, really interesting topics. So I wouldn't say that there's much of a difference between an honors class and the regular class when it comes to workload. I think it's going to be like standard pages depending on what professor and what course you're taking. But it's definitely not more work. I can assure you of that. It's just, I think it's just more fun work.
Doing like a writing honors course, or like you're actually like an English major, you're gonna be expecting to write a lot of pagers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said pagers. Pages. Excuse me. Is there any other questions, guys? I need to stop saying guys. Is there any other?
Me too.
It's just guys is such a like a Miami thing.
I say it way too much.
I say, what else do I say? I don't know. I used to say y'all a lot, and then I stopped.
I say and I've realized that now. Anonymous attendee says, "Okay, thank you. Stay safe." No problem, anonymous attendee. We hope you stay safe as well.
Enrique. Anonymous attending. Bye. I love how there's still like 18 people in here that are just like chilling. I appreciate like vibing, All right. Seriously, I think we're going to end it here, Jocelyn. So if you guys have any questions, please email HC Admissions or feel free to DM me on FIU Honors Join. That's the Instagram that I have. If you want me to follow you back, I'll follow you back. If you don't want to follow me, have me follow you, just deny me. It's cool. I don't take it personal. It's fine. I just figured you guys want to keep your ratios up or whatever. So yeah, that concludes today's presentation. I hope you learned a lot. I hope this was fun and entertaining and informative. Usually it's a lot funner in person. I keep saying funner. I don't even know if it's a word. But even if it's virtual, we can still have a good time. And that's just kind of the things we also do in honors. So thank you so much for coming to our TED Talk. As Enrique would always say, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Make sure if you're in Miami, you have a raincoat and umbrella because it looks pretty rainy outside.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.